Trina, and today I want to do a different kind of review. I want to talk about adult coloring books. I don't know, I just want to talk about coloring. Coloring is fun. And the one that I have specifically is The Secret Garden by Johanna Basford. She has another one that's out called The Enchanted Forest, which is also very, very popular. And she's got a new one coming out in October called Lost Ocean. Adult coloring books are very, very trendy right now, so there are several different ones out there, not just the Johanna Basford books, but this is the one I have. When I picked this one out, I had trouble knowing which art medium I wanted to use on it. Did I want to use colored pencils, gel pens, markers? So that is specifically what I will be talking about in this review today. Probably more a review of the paper quality and what you can use in these coloring books. Obviously I can only speak about this coloring book that I have, but I would think it is safe to assume that because The Enchanted Forest and The Lost Ocean are also by the same artist and same company are putting them out, that the paper quality would probably be the same. So you can probably assume that what I'm saying is good for all of Johanna Basford's coloring books. Basically, the reason I'm doing this review is because it took me a long time to pick out which coloring book I wanted. I would really just suggest going on Amazon, searching for adult coloring books, and just doing the preview images. And you can also look in the customer reviews. A lot of times reviews do include images of their finished products too, and just look at the art styles and see if it's a style that you like. I would highly recommend the Johanna Basford adult coloring books because one thing that's really cool about them is it's not just coloring. There are actually a lot of pages that ask you to finish the image or fill in your own details. These are actually front and back printed, so you get like double the amount of images. Another cool thing about this is that you can remove the cover, and the inside of the cover you can be colored, and then you can color the actual binding of the book. So I felt like the Johanna Basford books were a better investment because I was getting basically double the images, but I was worried about bleed through. Since they are printed front and back, was I going to be able to use markers or were they going to bleed through? I have used all three of these different mediums in my coloring book: colored pencils, gel pens, and markers. So I'll start with the markers first since I was just talking about bleed through. You can actually read a lot of customer reviews for any of the adult coloring books that mention what those different customers are using in their coloring books and how they perform. So I kept seeing the name Staedtler as a brand of markers that don't bleed through, and I picked up a 20 pack. I got mine at Staples. You can also find them on Amazon, and I've seen some Staedtler products at Target, so you can check them out. And specifically I went with the fiber tip markers because they not only have the very small tip, but they have like a broader edge that you can color larger spaces with. I'll give you a close-up of what the tip of these markers look like. Other option you can get with Staedtler markers are the fine tipped, but I didn't want those because I didn't want to be dealing with large spaces coloring it in with this teeny tiny little point. So these work good for the fine details and the larger spaces, and I've had absolutely no problems with bleed through whatsoever. I have colored one page with the markers so far, and I'll show you the back of that page too to prove there was no bleed through for me. The paper is pretty thick, so I think that it would probably take most markers alright, but not like a Sharpie or anything. So I would definitely suggest the Staedtler brand if you don't know which markers to pick up. So like I said, a lot of customer reviews of these coloring books will mention what they use, and I saw so many people mentioning gel pens, so I picked up a pack of Fisker's gel pens. I got a 48 color pack, and they have like neons, pastels, metallics, glitter. They can really get in there for the fine details. They got a lot of great colors. The true downside of the gel pens is that it just takes a while for them to dry. As you go like all over the page, you might smear it before they have had a chance to dry. But if you can deal with the drying time, if you can rotate the page so that you're not smudging it with the side of your hand, or if you could just go left to right or right to left, then I don't think you'll have that much problem with it. I've used gel pens more than any other of these mediums in my coloring book so far. I'll show you some close-ups of these images too. The end result really is great with the gel pens. I really like how bold the colors are and the different textures you can get because of the glitter or the metallics or the neons. And lastly, probably the most commonly used coloring method is just with colored pencils. I have a mixture of Crayolas, Prismacolors, and a Faber-Castell brand colored pencils. I would just say start out with a basic pack of Crayolas. They're very affordable. You can get like the 48 colors, and then once you start actually coloring with them and noticing which colors you wish you had, then you can go to like a craft store, a Hobby Lobby, and Michael's. I know they sell individual colors of Prismacolor and Faber-Castell. They will cost you about $2 per pencil, which is a little bit steep, but it's a good way to start out with a basic set of Crayolas and then supplement as you you come across colors that you wish you had. Prismacolors and Faber-Castell do just go on a lot more smoothly and they blend a lot easier, but to be honest, Crayolas work really well on the paper in the Johanna Basford coloring books because the paper is very smooth, so it lets them blend out really easily. So really any of these options are going to work just fine in these coloring books. So that was my really unusual review of a coloring book. I hope that maybe this has helped you and answered some questions that you might have had because I had those same questions. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the comments. Bye!